Algorand, yep, another layer one that is making some moves within the crypto space, and the community has been accumulating for quite some time. So, we're going to be talking about what is next for Algorand and whether or not this is a time to be getting excited. As always, just a quick disclaimer for everyone that anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you're investing in crypto. So, looking at Algorand on the daily time frame, it's up about 4.1% on the daily time frame, and if we're looking at it on the weekly time frame, Algorand is up 17.3%. So of course, it is reacting to the market momentum right now. As you guys know, we are in a bull market, and everything is pumping right now. And of course, Algorand is up about 17.3%, which is great to see. But let's take a little bit of a closer look and see what is yet to come. Looking at the price, 11.1 cents, as mentioned, up 4.3% in the last 24 hours in USD comparative, also up 5% in Bitcoin comparative. Looking at its market cap, it's slowly but surely approaching that $1 billion market valuation. We've seen a huge crash for Algorand over the past few months, but a lot of people in the crypto space right now, especially the people that have been here for quite some time, are saying that Algorand is one of the most undervalued layer one, and we're going to discuss that. We're going to take a look at that and see whether or not that is true. So now, if we're taking a look at its market cap, like I said, it's approaching that $1 billion market valuation, and the 24-hour trading volume is currently sitting at $71 million. Looking at the price right now, guys, let's take a look at the historic price pattern. So you can see this for yourself. It originally came out in 2019 and pretty much had a massive crash because it launched in a bear market, and then it had this huge run. So basically, a lot of people come and say, oh, it was not able to reach its all-time high because its all-time high was set in, of course, you can see this for yourself, 2019, which was $3.56. Let me tell you something. We don't need to be looking at this number because we were in a bear market, and pretty much after the bear market, things just went downhill. It was just a downhill, sell, and of course, a lot of fear across the board. In my opinion, the real all-time high that I consider for itself was the previous one, which was set back on November of 2021, and that was at $3, and we're approaching a 2-year mark next month. Wow, time does fly. Isn't that crazy, guys? It feels like yesterday that we were in November 2021 where we were in a bull market, and fast forward almost 2 years. That's insane. But that was what I treat as its all-time high. But pretty much it has consolidated, and it has seen a significant pullback since its all-time high. If I were to bring out the measuring tool, since just November 15th, it's seen a drop of about 96.7%. So 2 years ago, and if you're comparing it to now, 96% pullback. Again, quite significant. So, but one thing that was different this time around, excuse me, just still a little under the weather, so apologies on that. But one thing that was different this time around was we pretty much lost the support line back in April of this year because, of course, there were some negative news that came out, and then we pretty much consolidated around here. One thing I want you guys to see is that we never saw the price go below this 9.1 cents mark. Yes, we did wick below it, but it wasn't really holding around that range for quite some time. And we are pretty much sitting at the previous lows. Remember where the pandemic hit? This is where Algorand was sitting at, and fast forward, that's exactly where we're seeing the price of Algorand currently sitting at. And this is causing a lot of excitement coming in for a lot of people. People are saying that Algorand is making some massive moves as far as the project is concerned, and that is true. It is a really fast project, and it is here to compete with the other competitors. But right now, one thing you guys want to be paying very close attention to is that the entire market is pumping. But as the entire market is pumping, the community and the investors are looking for the opportunities. What are the coins that have the potential to make a massive recovery? And this time around, this is going to be Algorand's second bull run. And they've made some very significant partnerships. You guys know I've covered them on my channel. So that is, of course, a plus point. If we're looking at the price right now, especially on the daily time frame, you can see massive accumulation around its lows, which date back 3 years ago, and now we're finally seeing a pop off out of this range. We do have resistance coming in our way, but the main target that I'm kind of looking out for is at this 12 cents mark. And then if this 12 cents mark level of resistance is broken out, then we could see a 15 cents Algorand in the upcoming days ahead of us. As you know, the month of October has been great, and there are coins that are pumping up that haven't pumped up over the past few weeks. Some got a head start, and I think this time around Algorand is going to be one of the ones that might gain some steam. In order for us to reach that 14 cents mark, that's a 26.49% move from the current price levels. And even then, I think it's still quite cheap. Reason why I'm saying it's quite cheap is, let me give you guys my personal analysis. Layer 1s and layer 2s are still going to be really, really hot this bull cycle, in my opinion. And there's going to be a lot of competition, and during bull markets, they always, these teams always announce something bullish. All the teams seem to be working really, really hard, but how you really distinguish between a hardworking team and just the ones that are developing during the bull market are, you gotta go back in time, go back the last 18 months. Was Algorand really making some moves? When no one really wanted to touch it, were they actually making some moves? That's how you're able to understand, if they've been developing, even though, we've been in a bear market. There's so many projects out there that literally stop developing, stop doing anything in the bear market, and then all of a sudden when the bull market returns, they're making some massive partnerships, etc., and that is a huge indication for myself. One thing I can say about Algorand is that they've been building, they've been developing during the bear market, and I think the next main target is 21.7 cents. This is where Algorand should honestly be at this point. Like I said, we've seen a significant pullback, but the main target is at this 21.7 cents, guys, because that is where I feel comfortable for the price of Algorand to be at. And in order for it to be at that level of resistance, that's another move of about 100%. So we're basically looking at about a 1.8 to 1.9 billion dollar market cap, and I think this is where the price can be in the upcoming month ahead of us, and even before December, depending on how Bitcoin closes out the year. If Bitcoin is able to push back into the 0.50 Fibonacci retracement level and reach some levels like $40,000, I would not be surprised. Altcoins rallying in USD comparative, and really having some massive gains being made. It kind of gives me the 2020 to last year Q4 type of vibes. This time around, of course, we're going in a bull market, but Algorand, in my opinion, is quite cheap right now, especially if we're looking at the bigger picture. Still haven't seen more than one bull cycle, and a lot of layer 1s and layer 2s are going to be hyped this year, and they're all going to be fighting with one another because competition is there. And that's what I've said. In the next 5 to 10 years, are they going to be here? Who knows? Who knows? Because the competition is unreal. There's new layer 1s, layer 2s coming in daily. So these projects need to keep up, partnering with some of the biggest names out there. That's what makes people excited. But I have a feeling that Algorand has what it takes to be, one of the shockers, of course, in my opinion. But the main target I'm aiming for in the immediate short term would be at that 21 cents mark, and then we will take it from there. If we're looking at it from the current price levels to its, last year's high, that's a move of about 26x. Wow, I'm sorry, I apologize that I'm coughing a lot, so you guys can tell that Crypto ZX is under the weather still. But if we're looking at this perspective, if it were to reach back to that all-time high of last year, like I said, I treat that as an all-time high. That's a 26x from the current price levels. So great opportunity in terms of layer one in your portfolio. If you like the project, you've done your due diligence and research, why would you want to pick it up when it's at $1 when you can pick it up at 11 cents and dollar cost average? And it's one of the projects that hasn't really moved as of now. It's still within this consolidation phase, and like I said, one by one these coins are going to start popping out of this consolidation phase. So that's that for Algorand. Let me know down below what you guys think. Thank you so much for all your support. Love you all. See you tomorrow in Crypto ZX, and peace out.